anta eno, right? So anybody who wants to unmute themselves and try to explain what is food safety?
ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ತಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಷ್ಟು ಫುಡ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಫುಡ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಫುಡ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಏನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು? ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ as food safety?
Ma'am, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
ಫುಡ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಆಹಾರ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸಂಸ್ಕರಣೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಶೇಖರಣೆ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
Correct. Yes. Right. It's about following the processes, handling the food safely to make sure the food which is been consumed by a consumer for whom you have made doesn't, cause any harm while the food is being taken. Correct? ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಜನ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ತಿಂತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಹಾನಿಕಾರಕ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನೇ food safety ಇದೆ. So the whole process of handling, preparing, storing, everything put together to prevent any foodborne illness is food safety. And why do we need food safety? What it is? Let's go through it. So what happens? ನೀವು ಮಾತ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ತಿಂತೀರಾ? ನಿಮಗೆ ಹುಷಾರಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಟೈಮು ನೀವು ಮಾತ್ರೆ ತಿಂತೀರಾ. ಊಟ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ನೀವು ಸರಿ ಇದೆ ಫಾರ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್, ಫಾರ್ ಯೋರ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್, ಫಾರ್ ಯೋರ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ, right? To do everything you need food, and you need medicines when you are unwell. So you have to be very careful when you are making your food, right? So you have to make sure there are no gaps. You have to handle your food properly. If you don't handle your food properly, what will happen? Deaths can happen. Janadu satta hogadu. So there are very big chances if you don't handle your food properly. And different people, ನೀವಗೆ ಮಗ್ಳುಗೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಊಟ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ, ನೀವು ಸೇಮ್ ತಿಂತೀರಾ, ಅದು ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ ಮಗ್ಳು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. They can show some reactions. So you have to be careful for whom you are preparing food. How do people behave to that? And ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೈಮು ನೀವು ಏನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅದು ಎವ್ರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದು ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ, ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಅದೇಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಏನಾಗೋದು ನೀವು ಸರಿದು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡು, ನೀವು ರೆಪ್ಯುಟೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಕ್. And what can happen? You can lose your business, right? Exactly the same way like Maggie. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವರ್ಷ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅದು ಮ್ಯಾಗಿದು ಲೆಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯ್ತಂತ ಏನಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಮ್ಯಾಗಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ರೆಪ್ಯುಟೇಷನ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು. They actually lost lot of sales and revenues, and they had to face a big loss in terms of their business. So the food that you prepare has to be safe for human consumption. So few illnesses, outbreaks that has happened through the world. Chipotle, they had to actually close down their, outlets. Burger King was in the news because somebody was cleaning the table with the same mop which was used to clean the floor. ಅದು ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದು ಅದು ಮಾಪ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, ಅದೇ ಮಾಪು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಜನ ಅವರು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ತೆಗೆದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ವೈರಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು. ಬರ್ಗರ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅದು. So they had to pay a big amount for that. So mandatory requirement that ಯಾವಾಗ ಯಾರು ಫುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಲರ್ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅಪ್ ಟು ಡೇಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. There was this news of okra toxin. Okra toxin ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ನೀವು ಸರಿದು ಕಾಫಿದು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅದೇ ಟೈಮು ನೀವು ಓಕ್ರಾ ಟಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆದದ್ದು ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗೋದು. ಅದೇಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಏನಾಗೋದು, ಇದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ನೀವು ಲೈವ್ಲಿಹುಡ್ಗೆ, ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಆಗೋದು. food safety ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ವರ್ಷ ಪಿಚೆ ನೀವು ಇವಾಗ 15 we almost spend $15 billion for that. We lose that amount. We lose 1 in 12 people, right? And by 2030 the survey says that we will start losing 1 in 9 people because of foodborne illness. So it's important that we maintain food safety. Okay, it's it can take people's life if you don't follow proper food safety. So that is why FSSAI has come into picture to make sure there is enough of food safety awareness. People do follow those practices which has been outlined. So Food Safety Act, FSSAI ಮುಂಚೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ಏನು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Food Safety Act, idu bandu 2006. FSSAI got implemented in 2011 in our country. Before FSSAI, what was that regulation, or what was that government who was holding us against which orders or anything? Any idea? Do we have any idea? FSSAI ಮುಂಚೆ ಏನಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಡ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿಗೆ?
ನೀವು ಬಹುಶಃ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬಾಟ್ಲ್ಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಏನೇನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದ ಬಾಟ್ಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಡೂ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್. FPO ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ.
FPO, PFA, milk and milk order, very 8 different orders were there. So what has and those orders were more about quality, no adulteration and all of those. It was not talking majorly about food safety. So that is where in 2006 the country thought food safety is something that we need to implement in our country to make sure foodborne illnesses are reduced. People are more aware. Manufacturing guys follow the regulations more often. So that is where in 2011 is where the implementation or the starting of FSSAI happened. Sorry. Yeah. So in 2011, we had come up with 6 regulations. Okay, we just had 6 regulations in 2011. It was on licensing and registration. The first and foremost thing, any food business operator, before they start operating, it's not like after you start operating. Before you start operating, whenever you have a plan of starting something, that is when you have to apply for your licensing and registration. Under that, you have to see where do you fall, whether registration or the license, and you have to apply for that. Right? Food products standards and food additives, packaging and labeling regulation, because you are packing it. You should be knowing what type of packaging material is required and what are the information required on your labels. Prohibition and restriction of sales. You can't pack everything and sell it in the market, right? So that is where, there were few regulations around this on prohibition and restriction. Then came your contaminants, toxins and residues. What can you add? So for example, at your farm label, right, you are spraying pesticides. What is the accepted label? What is the accepted label? Level of your residues in your produce. So that is where that regulation came ahead. Laboratory and sample analysis, that was more for a labs, wherein the FSSAI started forcing that all the labs, wherever you are getting your sample checked, has to be NABL certified. Until today, we have, other additional 15 regulations. So in total, we have 21 regulations that we need to have it. Right? So these are the regulations that we have today in our country that needs to be followed by different categories. But licensing and registration is common for everybody. The standard and additives, saying that what you can add, how much quantity of additive can you add is same. Packaging labeling is same. Restriction of sale is same. Contaminants, toxins and residues is same. Laboratory and sample analysis for the lab follows the same. Now, talking about your food recall. Tomorrow your food goes out. You don't know where all it goes. You should be having a procedure of recalling. So that is where it was added. Advertisement and claims. There are people during COVID, ಜನ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಬಿಲ್ಡಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಹನಿ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಟರ್ಮರಿಕ್ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಇದು ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸೊ FSSAI controls that through the advertisement and claims regulations saying like what can be put and what can't be put. So all of these regulations were added more. So as on today, we have total of 21 regulations. Now talking about types of licenses. Any idea? ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಪ್ ಇದೆ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ದು? Do we have any idea? Yes, no.
Yes,
Kindly
ma'am. We can have marketing license. We can.
Okay, marketing license. Am I audible? Okay,
Yes.
just a second. I think
You are audible, ma'am. Please.
I'm audible. Okay, somebody had said saying that I'm not audible. So yeah, on the chat.
I think sent earlier.
Okay, so marketing license is for your marketing, but to run a food business, right? To start your food business, you need the license, FSSAI license. So in that, correct? How many types of license do you have?
Manufacturer license.
Okay. Manufacturing license, yes. Food business operator are, most of them are manufacturers. You can get a repacker license. Those are categories.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at it. Types of license.
3 types of license.
Perfect. Yes, Mr. Praveen. 3 types of license. Yes. Okay. If you talk about that, the first one is your registration.
Okay.
Okay. So in your registration, what happens is especially the petty food business operators, right? Those are the guys who come under this registration. The requirement for this registration is your turnover for the year should not exceed 12 lakhs. And the charges for applying for registration is just 100 rupees. So that's on your registration. Now coming to your license, there are 2 types of license. One is your state license and another one is your central license. The protocol for your state license is your turnover should be over than 12 lakhs per annum and your charges come around 2,000 rupees per year for applying for your state license. The next one is your central license. Your central license is applicable for especially the export units which are exporting 100% export or your imports, right? They have to get into your central license. If you have your manufacturing units in 2 different states, that is where you get your central license. If you are using a process and ingredients where, you know, FSSAI has not called it out, like your proprietary foods, that is where you have to apply for your central license. If you have your food catering, like your IRCTC, right? You are doing a catering, so that is where you need your central license. Your repackers and relabelers more than 2 metric ton per day, they get into your central license. And the charges for the licensing for year is 7,500. And the requirement doesn't matter which license it is, you have to make sure as per Schedule 4, one person is trained, one supervisor, a trained supervisor is there in your manufacturing unit for you cannot, you have to have one trained supervisor for every 25 food handler. So that is a requirement for the licensing as well. We'll go ahead and see what is that. So eligibility criteria, I have just put it roughly out here. What is the eligibility? what type of kind of business, what type of licenses they have to take, what is the outline for that, right? For slaughtering units, for meat processing units, for health supplements, right? All of these have a requirement saying like where do they need. Now, for example, for nutraceutical, if you look at, there is no registration at all. It is either state license or your central license. General manufacturing, if you look at more than 2 metric ton per day, no cereals pulses, they need a central. Up to 2 metric ton per day, that's your state, and for your registration stays the same. Proprietary food, as I was talking about, doesn't matter what type of proprietary food you have, what is your turnover, what is your capacity, doesn't matter, you have to take your central license. And non-specified foods which are not there in your categories or anything, and you need a special approval, those come under your central license. So how do we apply for the license or that registration? There is a portal and you can do it on your own. Okay, it's pretty simple. So what you need to do is you go to the portal FOSSCOS and start applying. You can make your, upload your documents. You can make, upload your, pay the licensing fees, and then you will get a reference number. Enter your reference number. You can track the status of your application, and then you can have your license. You can also return your, you have to file the returns every year before 31st of May, and which can be done online as well. So this is the website. FOSSCOS is the system where you can go ahead and try applying for your license or your registration.
Madam, there's a question. I think somebody has raised her hand. Kaveri, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿ. ಕಾವೇರಿ
Is
ಅವರೇ,
there
ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿ. I think it's not
might
on.
be just playing around and trying to see.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Kaveri. Sorry.
ठीक. Okay, so you can apply for your registration or license on your own. So there is something saying like if you don't hear anything from the authority within your 7 days in case of your registration, you can start your business and then it just gets, you are good to go. But then for your registration, you have to wait for 60 days. If you don't hear it within 60 days, that is when you can go ahead and start your business. But then you have to wait for that time before you start your business. And without FSSAI license, nobody should start a business handling the food. It's a mandatory, a very critical license for food business operators. So now for obtaining a license, what are the documents? What are those things that you need to upload? And this is for your license, okay? We are not talking about the registration right now. We are talking about the license. At least you need is one technical person to supervise your production process. And your technical person can be from any stream of your science. Okay, chemistry, microbiology, biochemistry, dairy technology, anything like that. And as we spoke, saying like file your returns every year, you have to do that before 31st of May. There are different categories that will be put depending on what you are manufacturing. For example, if you are manufacturing coconut oil and you have taken the category under coconut oil, you cannot manufacture groundnut oil under that till you don't add that category of groundnut oil. Or you can't manufacture coffee in the same premises without a additional, of that category in your license. So you have to make sure that you have all your categories right. You have to, with the license, there are some requirements on hygiene and safety.
Madam, I have a question. I'm sorry to
Yes,
intervene.
please.
This license requirement is for people who are turnover below 12 lakh. Also, this license requirement will be there, right?
No, registration will be there
Uh-huh.
below 12 lakh. The license is a requirement above 12 lakhs.
About 12 lakhs, yes.
Yes, above 12
So
lakhs.
about 12 lakhs, they need to hire one individual who is technically qualified.
Yes, yes, that's the requirement. Yes.
Is there a definition of what is called as a technically qualified person, ma'am?
Yes, it is there. That's what I was talking about, saying like the person has to have a graduation done in any science background, like your, maybe BSc in chemistry, BSc in bioscience, biochemistry, microbiology, food technology, dairy technology. If it's a catering unit, then hotel management, right? Something like that has to be done.
Madam, 1 minute. This is. Shall I ask one question or later on I will
Yes.
ask the question?
No, please go ahead. Please go
Sir,
ahead.
this is the AGM of
This
NABARD.
is Anil from NABARD, madam.
Hey,
As you're
Anil.
telling this 12 lakh rupees. So 12 lakh business is annual turnover or investment in the business, or how define the 12 lakh
Annual.
rupees?
Annual turnover. Your
No.
annual turnover has to be more than
Mhm.
12 lakhs for your license.
Okay. If it is less than, then not required the license.
Registration is required. You still have to register.
Okay. Registration is must. Okay.
Yes. You have to have your FSSAI, number, license number with you.
Yes, yes.
The
Yeah.
moment you are touching food.
Hmm.
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
madam.
Now with that license, there are a few records that also needs to be maintained. That's a requirement, like your record of your production, your water tank. If you're using water, then water tank cleaning record, your water test report, your food test report, right? Your raw material incoming report, your finished product specification, QC checks, and all of those. And also to file your returns, you have to keep a record of your sales separately. You also have to make sure proper storage, areas are defined for different food items, your packaging material, your chemicals, and all of those. As a requirement, you have to make sure your food product is sent to the lab to check the parameters as defined by FSSAI. The lab where you are sending has to be a NABL, National Accredited Board of Laboratories, and also the lab has to be notified by FSSAI. If in case you are handling any temperature sensitive product, you have to make sure the product, the temperatures are maintained of the cold rooms, or if it's a hot room, then it has to be maintained for a hot room. So you have to make sure throughout the supply chain. If it's a milk product that I'm touching, I have to make sure till I reach my consumer's door, the milk, the temperature of the milk should be maintained. So you have to make sure all the records are, retained, right? So now when you are applying for your license, these are few of the required documents, like a commercial license. Your factory license is something that you will need. Your blueprint or your layout of your plan, right? Name and list of your equipments and machineries. You have to actually click those pictures and upload it on the portal to show, saying like, okay, these are my list of equipment. This is the state of my equipments. Your photo IDs and address proof of the proprietors, partners, or directors, or whoever is the authorized signatory, that would be required. Authority letter with name and address of the responsible person nominated. So that person can be a technical person also, right? Who would be handling your manufacturing unit. So proof of possession of premises, if it's a contract place, right? Then you have to have your contract letter from your owner. If you own it, then that possession, of your premises has to be submitted. Food Safety Management System plan or certificate. So this is a scientific method of applying HACCP, which is the basic of food safety, hazard analysis critical control point, right? So you have a HACCP plan. So with any food industry, there are critical points where your hazards are controlled. So you have to make sure that HACCP plan is also available and uploaded. NOC from municipality or local body. Form 9, nomination of person by a company along with the board resolution. So these are few of the documents that are required while you are applying for a license.
Madam,
Yes.
could you give just a small, hold on to this particular slide and allow them to ask question because this is a very
Sure.
important slide.
Yes, please.
Please ask anybody who's having any question, please go ahead and ask. ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಏನಾದರೂ ಇದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳಿ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ದಾಟ್ತಿದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಏನಾದರೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳಿ.
Yeah, this is Shrikant. I have a small question here. If a person wants to start a food processing, so how turnover can be applied here? Turnover limit can be applied.
You can start with your registration. And then slowly, if you can see in a year you have crossed, 12 lakhs, that is when you can upgrade your registration to your license.
Okay. Till then, you can just have FSSAI registration certificate
yes.
and start running.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So the only consideration there would be that you will have to print it on your food label and all that. So you will incur cost while changing all of that. So between the registration and the license, I think the same number, I'm not sure is carried forward or not.
Yeah, for the state and central, they have recently started saying like if you are, going from a state license to a central license, the same number will be carried. But for registration, they have not yet done anything at that.
So your package and label and all that will have to change again because the number changed.
So the cost is a little bit, yes. Registration is 100 and, a state license is 2000. So that is something, that's the amount difference, definitely, yes. But then for a long run, it makes sense for you to get a license.
I have one more doubt. I don't know. Excuse me if I have missed the explanation you may have given on the process to get FSSAI registration. What are the requirements to be complied with?
So you have to. Sorry.
Yeah. For registration only, for a beginner.
Yeah, so you have to, in a form A, which is the requirement, you have to provide. See, for registration, there are very few requirements. So form A is something which you have to fill it up and then upload it out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So usually it is as basic as a photo ID, Aadhaar card, that kind of requirements. It is very, very simple.
Okay, that first course or something.
On the first
site
course.
name you made a mention of. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, Sarika ma'am. This is Akshay here.
Hi, Akshay.
Yeah, I'm trying to apply for the state license. We are into coffee manufacturing. So what we do is we process coffee powder or roasted seeds, and also in addition we have a tea sales as well. We do repack tea powder, what we get from the market. And also we are also trying to include chocolates as well.
Okay.
So all these three categories I can include in one food license, right?
Yes, you can.
And also, will the fee change or will the fee stay constant at 2000 or per category is it charged?
No, it's not per category, it's per license. But then for the modification, you have to pay 1,000 rupees.
No, I am applying for the first time. I'm creating.
No, it's not per category, it's per license. You can put as many categories in that you want.
Okay. And also when it comes to coffee, I need little clarification because there are lots of sub categories in coffee when we try to look into it. So I want to know the perfect category ID to go inside.
So Akshay, I would request you to send us an email so
Sure.
that we can help you out with the exact category. Telling you right now would be a little difficult because we have few more things to cover it up.
No problem. Yeah,
Yeah?
sure. That
Yes.
should be helpful. Thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. Any other questions?
This license is to be renewed every year?
Okay, so the license is, it depends on you whether you want to apply for a year or you apply for a 2 years or a 5 years. The maximum is 5 years. You can apply it for 5 years and stay happy. Or if you have taken it for a year, then you have to definitely, you know, for extending, you have to go ahead, pay the fees and all of those you have to do.
And two other things to note is if you are applying for renewal, you have to apply at least 1 month before. So which means if your license is expiring on January 1st, you actually have to finish applying for it before the starting of December. Otherwise, there is a per day 100 rupee fine. So that is one thing you have to be careful. And the second thing is that there was some discussion about making the license as a lifetime license, but that hasn't come yet. So there was just a discussion saying a lot of people were complaining that there is a lot of harassment around this. They're saying every year you have to renew, then you have to kind of go through this pain. So there was a discussion about lifetime licenses, but that is still not here.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Yeah. Any other questions?
ನಮ್ಮ FPO ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನೂ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿ. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ಬಹಳ ಬೇಗ ದಾಟ್ತೀರಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಟ್ರೈಫೆಡ್ ನಬಾರ್ಡ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 12 ಲಕ್ಷ shouldn't be your aim. You will be achieving crores of turnover. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದೆಯಾ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮುಂದುವರಿಯೋಣ?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, I'm calling from Mother Organization.
Mhm.
Ma'am, I have one doubt actually. So this license has to be taken prior to installation of unit or after installation of units, ma'am?
So before you start your operations.
Okay, after installation of unit, before starting of operations, we have to get license.
Yes, yes.
So they will come for quality checking right now, ma'am?
So that depends, completely on the food safety officers, right? There's no mandate saying like they will come for the inspection, but completely it depends on them. And also in case your, license or registration, when you have applied, right, if they have not addressed within the time frame. So for example, for registration, they are supposed to, revert back within 7 days. If they haven't reverted back, the 8th day you are supposed to get your registration, right? And for the license, within 60 days. If they haven't reverted, there's no change in your status or anything, 71st day you are supposed to get your registration. In those scenarios, the food safety officer or the inspector is supposed to come, look at your space, verify your documents, and then, have all the details with them. Otherwise, if everything happens within 7 days, they are not supposed to come and, they can come, they may not come. Both is possible.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions, please?
Yes, ma'am. Suppose we have registration of license within 3 months, our transaction is very less, maybe 3 lakh, 4 lakh. After 6 months, maybe increase. What to do that time?
You can always modify from registration to license.
Okay,
You can always do that.
After 1 year, we can have a chance to update.
Yes,
But,
you can update.
ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ತಜಲ್ದಿನಿ ಅವರೇ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟರ್ನ್ ಓವರ್ 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ದಾಟ್ತಿದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡೋದು ಉತ್ತಮ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 ಇಯರ್ಗೆ ಕಾಯುವಂತ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂಗಿದ್ರು ಬರೀ 100 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ಗೆ. ನೀವು 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ದಾಟುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಅವಾಗಲೇ ನೀವು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಉತ್ತಮ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ತೆಗೆದು ನೋಡಿ 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ದಾಟಿದೆ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ನೀವು ಕಂಪ್ನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ದಾಟಿ
ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು.
ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ನಾನೇನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ಇದು ವರ್ಷನೇ ನಾವು ಅಪ್ ಟು ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕೇನೋ, ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್
you can modify in between also. You can modify in between.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Whenever you want to update it, if you want to add your category, you want to update it, you can always do it.
And we have a flexibility.
Yes, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Saying like, for example, for license also, if I have a state license and if I want to get it into central license, correct? For example, now I have started another unit in, Andhra, then I can always go and apply for a central license. You can do it. You don't have to wait for the whole year.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions that we have?
Good evening, ma'am. I'm in a doubt. Ma'am, presently we are into millet production. We are having a millet processing unit and a bakery unit. So, as you had mentioned that we require any technical persons. So, for this unit, what is the technical person is required for that?
Anybody from the science background?
Like
Can
an
be
engineer might be okay.
With the science, should have a little knowledge about food safety.
Little knowledge about food safety.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
So there is a call out saying like has to be from BSc chemistry, dairy technology, food technology, microbiology, all of those has been called out, saying like these are the guys who's called as a technical person.
What about BSc in agriculture? That will be okay?
They haven't mentioned that, but I think should be okay.
Should be okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes. Good evening, madam.
Yes,
So
good
this is
evening.
this is Ramesh from Kolarama FPO CEO. So actually we are going to install a Ragi processing unit, madam. So
Okay.
actually we are going to apply now for license. So I am joining a little bit late actually this meeting. So we are going to now apply for Ragi processing unit.
Okay.
Only we are planning for powder making and packing and selling. That we are planning. Madam.
Yes. So your question is?
So we are going to apply license. So what are all the requirements? So that clarity I need. So for Ragi
ರಮೇಶ್ ಅವರೇ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಈ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗು ಇವಾಗಲೇ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಬಾರ್ಡ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಹುಶಃ ನಿಮ್ಗೂ ಅದು ತಲುಪುತ್ತೆ. ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ 12 FPOs ಏನಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಫಿ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರನೂ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ, ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರನೂ ತಗೋಬಹುದು ತಾವು. ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ ಕಣ್ಮುಂದೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿರೋ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಇದನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶಾಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕೂಡ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಸಾರಿಕಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವ್ರ ನಂಬರ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ರಮೇಶ್ ಅಗರ್ವಾಲ್ ಅವ್ರ ನಂಬರು ಸಹ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ತಾವು ಅವ್ರ ಲೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you, madam.
Shall we move ahead?
Yes, ma'am. Please do. Please do. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So while applying, these are the things that you have to have your documents ready so that you can apply for a license. Okay. Now, as a food business operator, you have to take care. This is the requirement which you will get along with the licensing and registration. Whatever you have done, doesn't matter whether you are registered or licensed. You have to make sure you meet up the Schedule 4 requirements. Schedule 4 requirements talks about hygiene and safety of your premises, of your people, of your equipments, of your location, and all of those. Okay, so basically I'll just touch base upon this, saying like what are the requirements, a detailed saying like how it should be, what it should be. We do conduct 4-stack trainings, which is as in line with FSSAI training. So that is something which we do, which is in detail. But here I will touch upon saying like what are the basic, points that you should keep in mind when you are handling a food manufacturing unit. You have to make sure your location where your factory is located is in a no polluted area. Environmentally, pollution should be away from it. There should be no flood. There should be no residential area. So there should be good facility to collect all your waste that you generate. So there are different requirements which has to be met in terms of location. Inside your facility, you have to make sure you have proper space for manufacturing, storage, light requirements are there. You have to make sure that has been done. Proper ventilation is there. The place is not too humid. Otherwise, your product will start getting spoiled. Like, for example, if there is dampness in your room, it's not properly stored, your coffee can show the signs of aflatoxin. So you have to make sure proper ventilation is also there. Your floor, ceiling, wall, should be smooth, easy to clean, no faking planes, because, the moment your place is dirty, you will have these microorganisms growing, your pests, your rodents, your cockroaches, all of them coming in. Your windows, your doors should be properly closed. In case they are open to the environment, you have to make sure there is a proper mesh, the bird mesh, the mosquito mesh, which has been used. Ensure to control these pests, you do not spray during your business hours or during your production inside your facility. If you are using water, the water for your hand wash, for your food contact surface cleaning, for as a processing ingredient, you have to make sure the water is potable. The equipment that you are using has to be of SS. The preferred one is the stainless steel equipment. You have to make sure there is no metallic contamination from your equipment to your product. There has to be a good drainage system, good waste management system inside your premises. You have to design all of those when you are setting up your factory. Now, coming on your personal hygiene, you have to make sure your people are not contaminating your product. So for that, you have to make sure they are wearing clean clothes, wear as and where required gloves. It's not mandated to wear gloves, but then you can see, are they touching ready to eat? Are they touching any product that can get contaminated through hands? That is where you can have those gloves. Headgears is something which they need to wear. The nail needs to be trimmed. Hands should be cleaned. Proper hand washing technique to be followed. You have to provide the facilities where they can wash their hands properly. You cannot just give them a sink and ask them to wash their hands. They need soap, they need a drying facility, they need sanitizer, right? The complete facility should be provided and you need to train them to wash their hands. No jewelry, no mobile phones, right? None of these, no pens as far as possible. So for example, for your aprons or your clothes, we generally say there should be no pocket above your waist. So you have to take care of everything when you are starting your facility. Now, another thing, the health status of your people. Your people working should not be contaminating your food through their infectious diseases. So for that, you have to make sure every year, annually, once your people are getting checked and they are medically fit to work in a food business operations. Personal behavior, practices like eating, chewing, smoking, spitting, all these should be prohibited inside the food production area. Make sure the practices of, number one, storing the product in a food grade container. Number two, make sure it's covered all the time wherever and whenever it's been stored. The vehicle which has been used for transportation, ensure that's in good condition and it is used only for transporting of food. Do not transport chemicals along with the food in that vehicle. Okay, for example, now for the farmers, from the farm, if you are transporting any of your produce to the dehusking premises, do not take your pesticides along with your product that you have harvested. So always keep your chemicals and food separate. So we spoke about location surrounding. We did talk about layout and design. You know, you have to have a good design. So like, for example, we were some gentleman right now was saying like he's setting up a ragi milling factory, right? The flour making factory. You have to design your factory in a way so that there is no chances of contamination. Your, you know, entry of people, entry of raw material, exit of your people, exit of your finished product, all has to be designed in a very systematic, scientific manner, right? Equipment and containers, we spoke about it, saying like the best equipment or a container quality has to be a food grade, and stainless steel are something that has been recommended. So make sure, you know, whatever you're using as a equipment and containers, those are of food grade quality. Facilities, you should be having good running water, right? Maybe storage tanks. You have to make sure your storage tanks are cleaned on a periodic basis. Cleaning utensils and equipment facility has to be there. You can't use your same equipment again and again without cleaning. So you have to design a system where your cleaning processes are well defined and designed to make sure all the dirt and dust and microorganisms from your equipment and utensils are removed, and the same frequency is been followed. Set up facility of washing your raw materials, right? So wherever required, you have to have that. In case you are using steam for any of your produce, have that facility. Make sure the boiler additives, if you are using boilers, has to be of food grade. The water that you are putting for steam generation has to be of potable nature. The drainage and waste disposal, both of the things needs to be looked into, because your drain, if you're having a backflow, chances of microflora increasing in your premises along with pest coming through that is higher. So you have to make sure how do you plan your drainage system. And also waste disposal, saying how often do you throw your waste? Is it once in a day, once in a week or something like that? No, it doesn't work. So you have to have a proper mechanism of removing your waste on a daily basis. Personal facilities and toilets, saying like, do you have a locker room for the change of uniform? Do you have sufficient number of toilets? Do you have a place where people can go sit and eat, right? All of those you have to look at. You can't allow people to sit and eat inside your manufacturing unit. Air quality, it should not be contaminating your product. As we spoke about ventilation, light, there are different light requirements, saying like your production area should be having at least 500 lux. So those are some requirements. Your light should not be warm lights. Your light should have a shatterproof cover. Those are your light requirements. And then depending on your operations, saying like what type of product you are handling, your controls need to be put in place, right? And your management and supervision, which is what your supervisors that you have needs to be trained. For every 25 food handler, one trained supervisor has to be there. It's a mandate requirement. While you are applying for your licenses, there is a requirement where you have to upload your training certificate of your supervisor. Food testing facilities, saying like if you have a lab in-house, it's good. If you do not have a lab inside your house, at least have a process of checking the raw material, your finished product, and make sure once in 6 months you send your sample in the external lab for testing the product, so that you know whether your product is in compliance as per the FSSAI specifications or not. Audit documentation, you have to have a system of auditing your own facility at least once in a year, okay? And you can get that audit done externally, or you can do it internally as well, and maintain all these records, what we have been talking about. Proper cleaning and maintenance of your space, of your equipment, of your areas. good pest control system. You do not want rodents coming inside your facility, spoiling your product, right? Building on the microorganisms. So for that, you have to have a robust pest control program. Personal hygiene, we spoke about it. Product information and consumer awareness, there are labeling regulations. So your product, after it leaves your factory, right? You don't have any control. How will you tell your consumers saying like what is there inside in a packet? It's just the label, whether it's a coffee powder or whether it's oil inside that or whether it's a pickle inside that. How will my consumer know? How will your consumer know? It's only through your labels. So you have to make sure all the labeling requirements on your packet is been met as per the regulations that has been there. Keep your people trained. It's very important so that they understand what is the requirement by the country as well as your internal requirements. So training is the key. Have a system of assessment of your people. So this is basically a broad level schedule for requirements when you have a food business operations running.
Ma'am, can we briefly have question and answers?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Go ahead.
ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದೆಯಾ? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ ಅವರು ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆದ್ರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕೇಳಿ.
Madam.
Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Madam, Nagaraj from Kayakalpa FEO, ಕೂಡ್ಲಿಗಿ. ಮೇಡಮ್, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ, ಹಲೋ,
ಎಸ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ.
ಈ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ವಾಟರ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಇನ್ ರೂರಲ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಈಗ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ವಾಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಲ್ಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸರ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ತಗೊಂತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಈಗ ಏನ್ ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕಂಟಾಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ.
ರೂರಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಬನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಂಟಾಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್ ಇದೆ ನೀರು.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದೊಂದು
ನಾಗರಾಜ್ ಅವರೇ ಅಷ್ಟು ಓಪನ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ
ಈ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ನೆಟ್ ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಆಯಿಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೊರಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈಗ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಈಗ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಅದು
your limit will go higher. It will, your pesticide level will show in your oil. If your groundnut, when the farmers are spraying the pesticides, you will see a higher level of pesticides in your produce. So what you need to do in that is train your farmers, saying like, okay, this is the pesticide which is allowed. Only this amount of pesticide is allowed. You cannot put more pesticide. We actually had a conversation day before wherein we were talking about food safety. That is the reason, somebody was saying that people are moving to contract farming, wherein you have a control. Otherwise, it's difficult to have a control. So the only way is training the farmers, telling them, okay, you can put this pesticide, but only at this level.
Okay, madam. Okay.
Yeah.
So also, if I want to add, as an FPO, you have a great opportunity. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಇದು FPO ವಿದಿನ್ ದಿ FPOನೇ ಇದ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ತಗೊಳಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ FPO ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಚೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇಂದ ತರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇದು ನೀವು FPO ವಿದಿನ್ ದಿ FPO ಇಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಂದ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ನಾನು ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೆಟರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Any other questions?
Madam, good afternoon.
Dr. Mahesh.
Madam, you are applied to the license and food
ಗಂಡ
safety.
ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಂತ.
Sorry, I think there are two people asking questions right now.
ಕೇಳಿ ಮಹೇಶ್ ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ ವೆಂಕಟ ರಮಣ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
Madam, if you apply to the license and in safety license, so taluka level or district level office, madam?
So now everything is moved to online. Doesn't matter district level or which level. Everything is online. You can apply it online.
Oh, we apply to the online.
Yes, yes.
ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ isn't it ma'am? What is the
Foscost.
Foscost. ಆ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ.
Madam, fast track, madam?
ಅಲ್ಲ,
Foscos, FOSCOS.
Oh, yeah,
dot
yeah.
fssai.gov.in.
Oh, okay. So once you are every year renewal or once you give the license enough, madam?
So you can take the license for 5 years at once, and after 5 years, like before it getting expired, a month prior to that, you can apply for it.
Okay. The food, any food or groundnut oil.
Any
So
food.
the testing the every month or batch wise, how is it?
Once in 6 months.
So food safety officer is coming once a 6 month, madam?
No, you have to send a sample to the lab.
Oh, send the lab. Okay.
Lab, yes. You have to send the sample to a NABL certified lab.
Okay, madam. Madam, in criteria, are you available of the that what criteria they are available of the website, na?
It's there, yes.
Any food criteria, groundnut oil safety, these are criteria.
The specifications are available there as well, and there are books also where these specifications are available, which will say for groundnut oil, these are the things that you need to check.
Because we are follow that we are follow after we are prepare the oil, after we are send the testing. So that's why if you want to that information and that
Before you prepare only, you should be knowing what is the requirement to be met, correct? After you prepare, you are just sending to reconfirm, saying like your sample, your product is meeting as per the requirement.
Okay, madam. Okay, thank you.
The list of NABL accredited labs ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ NABL ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್.
FSSAI has that list of approved labs.
Nearby, madam?
FSSAI.gov.in, that's a website where you can find the list of approved labs.
Okay. It is a private or government, madam?
Both are there, sir.
Both are there. Okay.
FSSAI is a government organization. ಇದು ಫುಡ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಅವ್ರ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ NABL accredited labs ನ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ.
Yes, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಕೇಳಿದೆ. Okay.
Any other questions, Mahesh?
Yeah, madam. Madam, ನಾನು ಮಹೇಶ್ ಅಂತ, ಗಂಡ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಮೊದಲಿಂದ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಬಾಗಲಕೋಟೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಮ್ದು ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಡೇಸ್ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ
Your volume is pretty feeble. I can't hear you, Mahesh. If you can increase your volume.
Okay. Madam, now it is clear?
Hello? It's still feeble though, but yeah, go ahead.
ಮೇಡಮ್, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಮ್ದು ಒಂದು ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ FSSAI ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಜಾಗರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೇಡರ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ನಾವು ಆರ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಟು ಆಯಿಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ FPO ಇಂದ. ಅದು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ನಮ್ದು ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ನಾವು ಫಿಸಿಕಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಆಫೀಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿನ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ. ಇವಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿನೇ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಬರತ್ತಾ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಆಗದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಗದು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ನೀವು ಹತ್ರ ಇದು ಸೇಮ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಬೇಕಂತ ನೀವು ಹತ್ರ ಯೂಸರ್ ID ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗದು.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು.
Okay, sir.
Sir, Ramesh sir, you added a very important point on the chat. ದಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಇವರು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಆಗಿ ಇ ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಿ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರೋ 12 ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ FPOs ಸಹ ಟ್ರೈಫೆಡ್ ಇ ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಮಾರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅವರು?
ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈಫೆಡ್ ಇ ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ತರ ಆಗಿದೆಲ್ಲ, ಅಮೆಝಾನ್ ತರಾನೇ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅವರು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. FPO ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ರೈಟ್ ಸಾರಿಕಾ?
Yes, if you are doing it on your website, then it becomes your responsibility to take a central license. But if the aggregator is doing it, then it's aggregator's problem to take a central license. You don't have to do it.
ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ FPOs ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಿರೋದು ಟ್ರೈಫೆಡ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಮೇಲಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೈಫೆಡ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್. ಆಮ್ ಐ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟೇಷನ್?
Yes, absolutely.
ಓಕೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು FPOಗಳು ಓನ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್
Your volume, can you increase your volume please? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ಈಗ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅನ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ.
Yes.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ಅಂತ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ನೀವು, ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು. 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ನಮ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ 12 ಲಕ್ಷ ನಮ್ದು ಟರ್ನ್ ಓವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತಾ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
State is okay, no? If it's more than 12 lakhs, it's state only.
12 ಲಕ್ಷದಿಂದ ಕಮ್ಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 12 ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರೀಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಡೇರಿ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕಲಿ ಅದು ಟನೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು.
So it is like this. If you can see on the screen, Mr. Mahesh, right? So for state, see, for registration, there are few requirements, and 12 lakhs is your, turnover. Based on your turnover or based on your handling, there are two protocols. Okay.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Okay, 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 sir. Understood.
So general manufacturing. So this is what your requirement is for your general manufacturing.
We are an oil manufacturing. Actually, oil processing ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, pulses.
Your vegetable oil processing, right? If your turnover is more than 12 lakhs.
Okay.
Up to 2 metric ton ನೀವು ಇದೇ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಏನ್ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಓಕೆ,
ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ನಂದು ಮೇಡಮ್. ರೈತ ಮಿತ್ರ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಮೈಸೂರಿಂದ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಇದು ನೀವು FSSAI ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸು ಯಾವ ಮಾನದಂಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ? ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲೇಟಾಗಿ ಸೇರಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದರಿಂದ ತಾವು ಹೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಇದು
ಮಾನದಂಡ ಏನು?
ಪೂರ್ಣ ಪ್ರಮಾಣವಾಗಿ ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇದು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇದನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು.
Ma'am, just one doubt.
Yes, Mr. Nicholas.
Ma'am, as the organization, if an organization is registered under NGO and trust, can they apply for FSSAI license?
Yes, they can. Why not?
They can.
If you are handling food, anybody, right? Doesn't matter whether you are an NGO or not.
Whether an NGO or not. Yeah, because we are doing into BC, that's business correspondents. So are they eligible? That's a question mark.
Yes, they have the name of the company. They are handling food. Definitely, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So, example is we are doing this program Safety with Divinity. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಗುಡಗೇನು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಡ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, ಫುಡ್ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ನಾವೀಗ. ಸೊ NGO is much more closer to industry.
Anganwadi, NGOs, everybody who's handling food, they have to get them. Now, actually, there's a new requirement as well. I think, if you are selling any food, correct, all your invoices and bills also have to have a FSSAI license number written on that. So that's a new requirement. Recently, it came yesterday or day before only.
ಮತ್ತೇನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದು ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಮುಂದೆ ಇರೋ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್, ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗು, ಲೇಔಟ್, ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಹೈಜೀನು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಮುಂದುವರಿತೀರಿ.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನಾನು ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ರಂಗಪ್ಪ ನಾಯಕ FDO ಅಂತ, ವೀರೇಶ್ ಅಂತ. ಹಲೋ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ವಾಟರ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಯಾವ ತರ, ಎಷ್ಟು ವಾಟರ್ಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಿಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಮಿಲ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
ನೀವು ನೀರು ಇದು ಪೋರ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಬೇಕು. ಪೋರ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ವಾಟರ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಶುಡ್ ಮೀಟ್ IS 10500 ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ಯಾವುದು ನೀರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಫುಡ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್, ಫಾರ್ ವಾಷಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್, if you are using any water for dampening of your millets, all your water has to meet it has to be of a portable quality.
Okay.
ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ.
ಪೋರ್ಟಬಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕುಡಿಯೋ ಮಟ್ಟದ ನೀರಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಕುಡಿಯೋಕೆ ಯೋಗ್ಯವಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನೀರು. ನೀವು ಫುಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸುವಂತ ನೀರು ಕುಡಿಯೋಕೆ ಯೋಗ್ಯವಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ನೀರಿರಬೇಕು.
ಅದೇ ಸರ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಯೋಗ್ಯವಾಗಿರೋಂತ ನೀರು ಸಿಗೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗೈತಿ ಈಗ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನಾವು ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ವಾಟರ್ನೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಕುಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ವಾಟರ್ನೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ
ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಏನು ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫುಡ್ಡಿಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ನೀವು RO ವಾಟರ್ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೀರ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಕೈ ವಾಷಿಂಗಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ತಕ್ಕ ಮಟ್ಟದ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟದ ನೀರು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ನೀರಾಗಿದ್ರು ಸಹ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ನಾವು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಅಂಶಗಳು ಇರುವಂತ ನೀರನ್ನ ನೀವು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಬಹುದು. ನಾನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್? ಸರಿಕಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್?
Yes.
No, just a little correction is the hand washing water also should be potable water.
Oh, sorry.
And the cleaning water also should be
the question
potable
was,
water.
the question was whether they use this 5 rupee coin RO water in all houses in rural area.
Okay.
Even for washing hands, should they use RO water was the question, sir.
So RO water is not a requirement anywhere, whether it's a production or whether it's a washing or anything. Okay, you can look at your water quality. Depending on the water quality, you have to see whether you need a RO plant or not, number one. Number two, if your water is only hard, you can put a softener plant and you can work it around. The number three, if you see there is a microbial growth, you can put a chlorine dosing system and then keep your microbial, coliforms, E. coli under control. But yes, you have to make sure the water which you're using for hand wash, for your equipment wash, for your food contact surfaces, for cooking purpose or manufacturing purpose, all water has to be of a potable nature, drinking water quality. Was that helpful?
Yeah, ma'am, I got a doubt. Regarding the facilities which deals with drainage and waste disposal. Madam, should we seek clearance from environmental department, ma'am, especially in terms of meat and all in the previous slide what you had there?
Yes,
shown,
you have to know.
To seek that environmental. Okay, that also will be a part of. Okay.
Yes. See, the food, it's not regarding food safety. That is more on your factory act and all of those, right? Which you have to adhere to.
Yeah.
But then here we are more concerned saying like if you don't have that system, you will have a problem of microbial growth and pest control. But then yes, your NOC from your pollution control board, board makes a mandate for a meat industry to have a ETP plant. Without a ETP plant, you can't run the meat industry, right?
Sure.
So you have to make sure you meet that pollution control board requirements as well.
Requirements. So this is equally applicable for other this one also, like millets and what we have been speaking of oils, as and where it is applicable. Yeah.
So it depends on what type of manufacturing unit you are. Okay. If you are not, producing too much of your, red effluents, then it's okay. If your effluents are in the category of green or orange, you can directly send it to the drain. Here we are talking about more saying like how do you put a flow of your drainage?
Okay.
How much slope it should be? How should you design it, and all
Yeah,
of
yeah.
those?
No, ma'am. Actually, I'm Pratap here, DDM Nabard from Chikmagalur. We got an FPO which deals with sheep and wool, ma'am. Sheep and wool cooperative. Okay, and they have plans of setting in a better modern abatter wherein they can do that. So because of this license, when I've seen, so I just had this doubt about how we can go about this.
So definitely they have to meet the requirements of the Pollution Control Board.
Okay.
They have to do that.
They have to do it. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, sir, a separate class trial has to be conducted for that particular purpose because the requirements of Pollution Control Board is quite stringent, quite different. Also, probably come in the scope of this particular talk. A separate talk might have to be arranged by an expert in that direction, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, well, sir. I think that would be useful, especially for those industries that they produce a lot of effluents. That would be great. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Shall we
Ma'am.
move on? Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one question, ma'am.
Yes, Abhijit.
Yeah, ma'am. The question is, like, suppose we have one portal where we are listing all the FPO products, which is a finished product. So that finished product, I mean, who is going to take the license for that?
You are going to take it, no? Like
Okay, the
you
portal.
have to take it for the listing because you are putting it on your portal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need, because you are running a business through an e-commerce site, you need a central license, but the individual guys, as per their turnover or handling the metric tons, depending on that, they can take their state licenses.
Okay. And so, how about that license number? Should that be printed on all the products which is coming from the FPOs?
So no, you don't have to print any license numbers. You don't have to, but you just have to have a license for running a e-commerce.
Okay. So if we are giving the invoices, so in that invoices, that number has to be there, right?
Your license number has to be there.
Okay.
You are the person who's selling it, right?
Yeah, ma'am. Yes.
So that is one, and your FSSAI license also has to be displayed on your portal, e-commerce portal.
Not on the product, but on the portal, yes.
On the portal.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, is there a standard for arrangement or spacing of these facilities? For example, if there are 50 workers or if we take 3 to 4 products, then how to arrange these like whatever maybe.
Sorry, your
machinery.
voice is pretty feeble. Can you increase the volume a little?
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, is there any standard procedure for arrangement of these facilities? Like if we have 50 workers or if we take 3 to 4 products, then how to arrange these layouting, machinery arrangements? Is there any standard procedure for that?
See, definitely you have to look into what type of products you are. See, it's not like one size fits all, right? But then you have to start looking at what type of product you are handling. How are you handling? Is there a chance of cross contamination? So there are many things which has to go in before you design your layout, planning, and setting up your equipments out there. Right. So I think for that, you can get in touch with us and maybe we should be able to help you out on, how to plan that and all.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
if I can simplify it, oversimplify it, it should be one-way traffic. It has to start from one side and end in the other side, no going back and forth. Like that is the easiest thing I can say.
ಇದು ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು. ಸರ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ?
ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ you want to translate, probably I'll misrepresent.
ಲೇಔಟ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಿಷನರಿ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಚೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿಷನರೀಸ್ ಹೇಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಒಬ್ಬ ವರ್ಕರ್ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರೋಂಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತು ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಬರೋಂಗಿರಬಾರ್ದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒನ್ ವೇ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್. ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಶುರುವಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಹಿಂದೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಂಗಿರಬಾರ್ದು ಲೇಔಟ್. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್.
ಇನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಇದು ಐಟಮ್ಗಳು ಇದೆ, ಅದ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಡ್ರೈನೇಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಹೆಂಗ್ ಏರ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ 4 ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದ್ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್. ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ ಆತರ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ, ಬೇರೆ ಅದರ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್.
Okay. We need support for this actually, sir.
So you can send us email and then we can try to help.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions that we have before we move on?
I think we can go ahead, ma'am.
We can go ahead. Okay. Yeah. So as we're talking about, package, right? One is processing that you have to follow in a good hygienic manner. Now comes on your labels as well. So there are different things, that you need to take care of while you are packing your product. Number one, your packets, the packaging material that you are using has to be a food grade. Next thing, on your labels, there is a new, regulation on labeling and display requirements. And they have given some time to, adhere to those requirements. Earlier, there was packaging and labeling requirements, but now they have segregated. They made a packaging requirement regulation separate and labeling and display regulation separate. So I'll just run you through the basic requirements. Definitely, it takes many more things on your label, right? As simple as it saying like a logo is required for a veg and a non-veg. So that's as simple as that, right? Now, what all should be there in your product package label? The manufacturing address has to be there. You have to put your 14-digit FSSAI license. You have to put your details like your phone number, your email ID. In case there is a customer complaint, the customer should be able to reach out to you to put their complaints ahead. You need to have your batch number. Your batch number can be your day also, your date also. So it depends how you want to put your batch number. The reason behind a batch number is for your traceability. Tomorrow, your product, you had produced it a month back, you have sent it outside, your complaint comes. If you do not have your batch number, you will not be able to say which day's product was that. So it's a mandate requirement to have a batch number on your label packages, and your expiry date or use by date has to be written out there. Okay, as I was talking, there needs to be a dot of your veg logo, a green dot for your veg. And recently FSSAI has changed from red dot to red triangle. For a non-veg logo, it has to be a red color triangle. And it has to be in the front panel near your name of your product. So that's a requirement. MRP of your product needs to be written down. Your list of ingredients, what all are you putting in your product, that has to be written down in a descending order. Your storage instructions, there can be some product like a meat, right? If anybody is manufacturing meat, you have to write saying like store below 5 degrees or store between 0 to 4 degrees centigrade, store in a cool and dry temperature, right? Or in a condition. So you have to write down your storage instructions. If there are any specific, then you have to write those specific instructions out there. Any other instructions before consumption, during consumption? Can I eat it raw, or do I need to cook it before? So that cooking instructions and all of those has to be written down as well. Your nutritional information has to be written down in terms of your energy, protein, fat, and carbohydrates. That is mandate. So you need to do is per serving and per 100 gram as per RDA requirement. What is the these different macronutrients are going to give you a calories. Any other claims that you need to do? You have to write it down. If you are saying trans fat or ye or wo, whatever you want to, all those claims needs to be made on your package. If you have a single product, so for example, if you are using just a single product and packing it, then you do not need the nutritional value written down on your label. On your returns, every year you have to file a return before 31st of your May.
Ma'am, can we take
Yes.
some questions on the labels because they will
Yes,
have
please.
a lot of
Yes, please.
labeling ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿ. ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿದೆಯಾ ಲೇಬಲಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ? Okay, ma'am. I think we'll go ahead.
Yeah. So on your returns, so you have to file your returns every year before 31st of May. Okay. If you have two different licenses, then you have to file separate two different returns. If it's one license with different categories, it's okay. It's only one return to be filed. But you have two different licenses, two different factories, then two different returns have to be filed. If you have delayed your returns after 31st May, every day's penalty you have to pay is 100 rupees. Okay. We spoke about it. You can apply your license from anywhere between 1 to 5 years. So you have to, earlier also, I think Ramesh also emphasized on that, saying that you have to apply for the renewal. If your expiry is happening of your license on June 30th, you have to apply it before May 30th. Okay. So 30 days prior to expiry is where you have to apply for the renewal of your license. Yeah. Is that clear? Any questions? No. Now coming to penalties. What happens if you do not follow the regulation requirements, if you do not meet the specifications that has been outlined by FSSAI? If you are giving papaya seeds added to your black pepper, yeah, that is something, a substandard food, you can be put a fine of 5 lakh rupees. If somebody finds out that you are supposed to give pepper, instead of pepper, you are mixing some papaya seeds, which becomes a substandard food. So you can get a penalty up to 5 lakhs. Misbranded foods. Branding is something else, saying like, for example, you have made a food and then you say, this food will grow you 10 times stronger. You're misbranding your food without any substantial scientific research. Then you can be, penalized for a 3 lakhs. Misleading advertisements. Right? For that, it can be 10 lakhs. Your misleading advertisement, like what I said, 10 times stronger, can be a misleading advertisement. Misbranding, you have something else in your food, but you are selling it as something else. That can be a 3 lakhs. If you are not complying with the hygienic practices that we spoke about, saying that your facility, your location, personal hygiene, lighting, drainage, all of those are your hygienic practices. If you are not following that, then your fine can go up to 1 lakh. If you are selling unsafe food, then there can be imprisonment up to 6 years and fine and life imprisonment in severe cases. So that's the penalty that can go there. Without license, if you're running a factory without your license, then imprisonment up to 6 months and fine up to 5 lakhs. Okay, so this is the enforcement. So you understand, if you're running a business without a license, you can put on behind the bars for 6 months and a fine up to 5 lakhs. So whenever you are running a food business, make sure you have a license in place. Any questions here?
I think there is no other question.
No questions.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. To anybody in the food chain who is handling the food, everybody, in the system, the food chain, they can be applied with these penalties if you are not following the required regulation and requirements. Okay. So take care of it so that you don't fall under this. Appeal is something that you can do it, which you can see saying like your food safety officer has come and, put in a penalty. So is there a system to appeal? Yes, there is. So this is what, your appeal system goes like, right? An officer not below the rank of additional district magistrate shall be notified by the state government at adjourning officer. The officer has the powers of the civil court. The central and state government may set up a tribunal through a notification. No civil court will have any say in matters that fall under the AO. Central and state government may set up special courts for major offences which leads to grievous injury, death of consumer. Any persons aggrieved by the decision of the special court can further go to the High Court within 45 days by following the prescribed procedure. So there is a way to appeal, right? In case you are not happy with anything that has come through. So that was the end of, on the licensing and registration requirements and how you can go about it. A little bit about us. We are Food Safety Works, a consulting firm based out of Bangalore. We are a house of food technologists, microbiologists, nutritionists. We provide end-to-end solutions in terms of food businesses. We have a cumulative experience of more than 100 years. We have a thorough understanding of national and international regulation. We have set up more than, I think, 50, food safety management system across factories, catering units, and cafeterias. Trained about more than, I think the numbers keep going up every day. So more than 3,000 people on food safety and conducted more than 3,000 audits. We are an impanel training partner for the 4-stack training. That is where we were talking about saying like every food business operator needs one trained supervisor for every 25 food handlers. So we are an impanel training partner with FSSAI and also a hygiene rating or a agency wherein we do audit different restaurants on behalf of FSSAI. We audit different cafeterias of the manufacturing units to make sure they are the right place to eat. Yep. So that's about who we are. Adding to it, we are a women first company. We have more than 80% women in our company that we have, and you can reach out to me at the given number and email ID. We are there on all the social medias, your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. You can go ahead and like us. Our handle is @FoodSafetyWorks. So that's about us. I'd like to thank you, all of you who has been listening to us patiently, and thank you, Vaibhav, for inviting us for this program. Over
It's
to you,
a
Vaibhav.
pleasure, ma'am. Thank you so much. Any further questions for Sarika, ma'am, before Ramesh Agrawal sir takes over?
Madam, hello. Madam, I am speaking from Bidar, madam, Bidar DDM. Regarding this expiry date, how to decide on the product? How to decide this shelf life of a product? Who will decide this?
So you have these labs where you can send your sample to the labs and labs can help you decide. So we are
Okay.
ourselves coming up with a lab in-house wherein slowly maybe we should be also able to help you to decide Sehla, what is the shelf life of your product.
Okay. Thank you.
This thing is the nearest ICR institutions or Central Food Research related institutions, almost all of them have this kind of facility. It is called, they have a process called as accelerated
Shelf life.
shelf life testing. So they bring in ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಯಾ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇವಾಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾಳೆ ಸಂಡೇ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿಲೆಟ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಇಂದ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಮ್ಮ UAS ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಲ್ಯಾಬೊರೇಟರೀಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಡ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬೊರೇಟರಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ IIHR ರೀತಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಸಹ ನೀವು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಬೇರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಶ್ರೀಕಾಂತ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಟೀಮ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ತಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾಗಿ ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಡಿಸೈಡ್? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಬೇಕಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಇದು ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂಡ್ ಫೀ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್?
See, all your people who are handling food needs to be trained.
Madam, your voice is too low. Can you come close to the mic?
Yeah. So anybody who is handling food in your premises needs to be trained on at least the basic hygiene protocols. If you have a experienced person, that person can train those food handlers on handling of the food, the basic hygiene. That trained person or your supervisor can attend the 4-stack training to make sure they understand what are the requirements to ensure the premises meet the Schedule 4 requirements. So every month we do run these 4-stack training programs, and the cost for those training programs is 1,250 per person is what it's been charged.
This is for how many days?
It's a 1-day program from morning 10 to evening 5.
That's in Bangalore.
It's online nowadays, so anybody from anywhere in India can attend this. It's all online training.
Okay. Henceforth, anyway.
Yeah, so it has been online for some time now. Apart from that, if like for the food handlers, some basic training is required, then we can do a basic training also for anywhere from 15 to 20 people is there. We should be able to do it. The basic training is around 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours. And both this training come with a certificate from FSSAI. So there is a test, and if you pass the test, you will get a certificate from FSSAI, certificate of completion.
Okay. Thank you.
And if there are other general trainings that you want, we do a lot of trainings. You can, so I think one thing I would encourage is if you come to our website and subscribe to our newsletter, then every week we send out, so weekly we do about 1 to 2 trainings mostly. So some is on simple topics, some is on advanced topic, a lot of different training. So if you subscribe to the newsletter, then you will get to know about the trainings. Like this week, next week this week we did pest control, pest management. Next week we are doing ISO 22000, but ISO 22000 may not be very relevant for you. Yeah, I think starting with 4-stack is a good idea. So at least get 1 or 2 food safety supervisor trained, and then basic also if you want to get the rest of the staff trained.
Right. So details are available in your website. I think that is good guidance.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes. I'll send you our learning portal also. I will type it up.
Sir, we have a special requirement because this program was arranged in coordination with NABARD. As I told you before, we are supporting 12 tribal FPOs to establish their own food processing units. That is in millet, in cold pressed oil, either in groundnut or coconut, and further in red gram, and one unit in tamarind as well. So my request is to the participants from these 12 FPUs to start the registration process for registering their particular product going forward. As discussed, sir, would you be helping them in doing that? Is my question to you.
Yes, so I think we agreed that if it is just a registration that is required, then we would help you do it and no extra cost, whatever the 100 rupees is. And if it is a license, then I think that we'll charge. Or if you're doing on your own, if you have some questions, then we can answer the question. That is not an issue. We are happy to help.
So when they come to the licensing process, just for their understanding, these are all not big units. They are units about below 10 lakh rupees in their size. They will probably be producing all these agricultural required thing. What would be the likely fees when it goes for licensing, sir?
Licensing, we standard charge about, I think, 10,000 for the license.
Okay.
But because this is an FPO, we can definitely kind of give a discount. That is what we charge outside.
Thank you so much, sir. That was very helpful. Can you kindly, any final words from Ramesh Agrawal, sir? We completely ran out of time. I'm extremely sorry, but any final words from you and advice for all our FPOs?
Thank you for this opportunity. I think the only advice would be that please try to understand the technical aspects of it. So it looks very complicated when we talk about it, but we can start with very, very basic things like we do at home. So the thing is, what you will not do for your home food, you should not do for your factory food. Like you will not use dirty hands. You will not use, you will not keep the food open. You will refrigerate it, cool it, clean the table, your kitchen before starting cooking. So in that sense, it is very, very simple, very, very intuitive. There is some amount of science to it. And I think it is important to learn the science as much as it is to just be simplified by it. You should, and it is a day per day improvement, and you have to start from day one. So if you think that no, ಇವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಏನ್ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರು ನೋಡಲ್ಲ, and then you will run into lot of trouble in the future. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, nobody will improve. So however small you may be, it is important to start from day one. Andre you have to wash your hand, andre you have to wash your hand. ಕೈ ತೊಳ್ಲೇಬೇಕು, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬರಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಕೈ ತೊಳ್ಲೇಬೇಕು, ಮಾಸ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕ್ಲೇಬೇಕು, ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ಹಾಕ್ಲೇಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಜ್ಯುವೆಲರಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಾರದು, no jewelry inside the plant. What happens is, these are things that people think will never happen to them, but it always happens. We have people where finger rings were found in their food. Things will fall off from your pocket. That is, never put anything in your pocket, especially no up pocket. These are simple things if you do. And finally, it also affects your product life. If you don't wash your hands properly, if it is not clean, food will get contaminated, and you are thinking it will spoil in 5 days. Even so, we talked about shelf life. Even though you have done shelf life said 3 months because you did all clean things and gave for shelf life. But if people are not washing their hands, if they are not following the process, when the product gets made, you might end up with 1 month shelf life, and that can be a criminal offense. Saying your product says it has 3 months shelf life, which you tested in lab, but that product and what you are producing are different. So you can end up getting sued for that. You will put 3 months, but the product will spoil in 1 month, and the customer can go and put a complaint. So you have to be very, very careful, and it is important to start from day one. I think that is all I want to say. Say, do not think that because you are small, it is okay not to follow something. So that's all I had to say. And we are happy to help. So Vaibhav has the contact. I think we shared the contact. You can go to our website, send us an email. Not a problem. We will try our best to help you. I think that is our main objective.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಸರ್. ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಟೈಮ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್. ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮಾತು ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟು. ಇವಾಗ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಅಷ್ಟು ಎಫ್ ಪಿ ಒಗಳಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಸಣ್ಣದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಮೂಲ್ ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ಮಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ರೈತ ಸಂಘವಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಶುರುವಾಗಿದ್ದು ಇವತ್ತು ವಿಶ್ವವೇ ತಿರುಗಿ ನೋಡಬೇಕಾದಂತ, ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಹುರಿ ಪಟ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಒಂದು ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಫೆಡರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಮುಂದೆ ಬೆಳಿತೀರಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ನಂಬಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಸ್ನು ತುಂಬಾ ಸೇಫ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಇದು ರೈತರ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಖುಷಿಯಿಂದ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಆ ರೀತಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕನ್ನೋದೇ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶ. ನಮ್ಮ 12 ಎಫ್ ಪಿ ಒಗಳು ಯಾರು ಹೊಸ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಎಫ್ ಪಿ ಒಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ನ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರ ನಂಬರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ರಮೇಶ್ ಅಗರ್ವಾಲ್ ಅವರು. ತಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೆದುಕೊಂಡು ತದನಂತರ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದು ನನ್ನ ನಿವೇದನೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾಳೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಮ್ಮ 12 ಎಫ್ ಪಿ ಒಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಿಲೆಟ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಇಂದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಿಲೆಟ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ನ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರು ಮಿಲೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮಿಲೆಟ್ ನ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ಇದೇ ತರ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ಕ್ಯುಬೇಷನ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ. ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಎಫ್ ಪಿ ಒಸ್ ಸಹ ಅದನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ನಾಳೆ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗೋದು ಮರಿಬೇಡಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಸರಿತಾ ಮತ್ತು ರಮೇಶ್ ಅಗರ್ವಾಲ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ತುಂಬ ಹೃದಯದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ತುಂಬಾ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಸರ್. ಅಗರ್ವಾಲ್
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್.
ತಮ್ಮ ಅಮೂಲ್ಯ ಸಮಯವನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕಳೆದಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ನಬಾರ್ಡಿನ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು, ಎಲ್ಲ 30 ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗಳ DDMಗಳು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು. ನಮ್ಮ AGM ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಆದಂತಹ ಅನಿಲ್ ರಾವತ್ ಅವರು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಫ್ ಪಿ ಒಗಳ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೀಮ್, ಸಿಇಒಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಸಿಇಒಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಪದಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಸಿಇಒಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಿ. NGOಗಳು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಅವರ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಗಾಗಿ ನಿಂತಹ ಪಾಪಿಗಳು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ತುಂಬಾ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಸದುಪಯೋಗ ಪಡಿತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ರಮೇಶ್ ಅಗರ್ವಾಲ್ ಸರ್, ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅಂತ. ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದೇ?
I'll put it in PDF and send it across to you.
ಈ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಸಹ ನಾನು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ನ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಿರ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಸರ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ. ಹಾರ್ಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ಯು.
Welcome. Thank you everyone.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
ಆಯ್ತಾ?